Hello, everyone. What I wanted to do this week is with the uh, fort opening up soon. I just wanted to do a little bit of what you can expect to see at Fort Ticonderoga this year if you show up. Give you an idea of what you could take pictures of, the types of activities you could see, and where the best places are to do that. So, this first picture we're going to start off with, as you can see, during many of the fort's activities, they will be doing things that would be normally done in the way they would have been done in that particular period. So, this first picture that you see here, this is the woodworking that they're doing. This is before the entrance to the fort. So, as you're walking in to the fort, you come in past May 4th, you'll be coming in through the store, walking down the path. As you round the corner past the flag, this is where you'll see this set of activity. And as you can see, they do day-to-day tasks, as I said, that would have been done back then. And you can also see things that they would have used, like these skids that are here, or parts of skids, that they would have put together to help draw cannon from place to place. You'll also see them doing woodworking, cutting the wood that they need, because they would need it for fires, etc. That mound that you see in the lower left-hand corner is actually a cooking area. They will dig into it to make either a oven type configuration or just to put it in there so they can put a fire underneath and put a pot on top. While you're there, there's also an osprey nest. So there's a little bit of nature that you can see there beyond the garden. It's down by the garden, in this case, the osprey nest. But this will give you an opportunity to see something other than just the garden and the activities in order to soak up the environment around the fort. Because remember, this is on the lake. So you have an awesome view up there as well. So if you're a photographer, you have the possibility of seeing nature, right? If you want to be take bird shots, you'll have the opportunity. You have the opportunity of seeing this wonderful area around the lake. And if you're interested in things at the time or just like to take event photography, there'll be many things going on around the fort that you can take pictures of. Again, the soldiers will be in garb of the period. And as you can see, that all the detail on these as well. You have two different types of military in this particular photograph. And you'll notice that one has a 26th on it. It's the 26th Regiment. As I said, they'd be doing things that they would have done around the period. At this particular event, what they were doing is making candles. But there's sometimes activities for others as well, such as churning butter. So there's several things that you can take photographs of here. Get an idea of the experience of the fort. If you're into a more military type experience, there are the daily musket and cannon demonstrations. Now you'll see this line of people here. If I get a better line shot. While they bring things up for people to see, you'll notice that there is a buffer line. So if you're a photographer, bear in mind that you're not going to get very close to the activity. Now, this particular shot was shot with my 100 to 400 from the wall of the fort. So in this picture, that line of people there, their backs are to the fort itself. This is in front of the fort. from the pictures that you saw earlier with the people doing the woodworking and that little cooking mound, this is to the right-hand side of that. So it's in front of the fort itself. You can see in the background a triangular unit that they use to raise and lower cannon. Again, using things of the period. And like I said, if you're into a more militaristic experience, they do fire these muskets off, and then later on they fire the cannon. But there's also other activities that are done during the fort, such as working on their garb, working on hats, and other parts of their clothing. In addition to that, they have a shoemaker as well. And of course, from a historical standpoint, there is the museum with exhibits as well. But again, everything's done in the period, so it's done as it would have been in that period. And this little scene here, the woman on the right-hand side is actually making, I believe they both are, they're making wicks for the candles that they were going to make. And of course, you can't make candles without melting the wax, which they did in a pot over an open fire outside. Now, the area that they're using to do the clothing is one of the, it's got the best light of all the rooms there, which is why they use it. It's as you come through the entryway, and you can see the oxen coming through. That's the entryway from the inside. This is inside the courtyard. The archway there is what you're going to come through. As you come through that archway, over to the left-hand side, up the stairs on the right-hand path, you will see the area that they are using to make the clothing. They also have setups in there to show what officers' dinners, etc., would look like. So again, you have the oxen showing how things used to be pulled and brought around at the fort. You would have used the oxen, and as you can see, one of the pallet type sleds behind it that they would use to haul things up and move them around. As with the muskets, the cannons will be brought around to show off, or the pieces that are used in the cannons will be brought around to show off what they use at the time. And then you can watch them fire off and load and fire off the cannon. So again, there's a safety line. Keep that in mind. There's maps of what the fort looks like, so you can get an idea for the fort. Most of the activity during the daily events are going to be held in front of the fort or within the fort in the courtyard itself. In addition to that, when the weather gets nicer, the garden will be in full bloom. That's down the hill from the fort. And you can go down there and take a look and see what you can see the beautiful flowers that they've got there, as well as the vegetable garden that would have been something that the fort would have used back in the day to help provide provisions for the fort. So I just wanted to give you a little background of what you can expect at the fort this year. If you feel like going up to take pictures, this will give you a little primer on what to expect and what to plan for. And that's what I got for you guys this week, and I'll talk to you all next week.